Tim Reese back at Cumberland University in Lebanon, Tennessee, Wilson County, for Game 2 between the Phoenix JV squad and the Volunteer State Pioneers. Pioneers won Game 1 7-0. It's 7 innings. This will be a 7-inning contest as well. And here are your Toyota of Gallatin starting lineups. First for the visiting Pioneers. Leading off playing shortstop, Logan Molnar. Batting second, Jake Burris in center field. He's got some cousins, I think, that are listening in. Ryan McDaniel and co-workers watching from the office. Hopefully they're back for Game 2. Say, let's go JB and the Pioneers. Landon Godsey will be behind the plate, batting third. Chase Mizell, cleanup hitter in right field. Carter Vrabel back at third base, batting fifth. Landon Luderman, the DH, will bat sixth. And the 7-hole hitter, Brody Melton, at first base. Playing left field, batting eighth, Jacob Messer. And batting ninth, playing second base, Matt Hall. And on the mound for the Pioneers, Danton Reinhardt from Collinwood, Tennessee. He will be making his third start of the year, his sixth appearance. And he will face a lineup for the Phoenix JV. It goes like this. Andrew Dalton will lead off again, but he will move over and play second base. Will Burris batting second, playing left field. Baker Fuentes at shortstop, batting third. Jordan Coffey, the DH, getting in to Game 2, batting fourth. Ethan Carter back at first base, and he will bat fifth. 6-hole hitter Tyler Griffin will be behind the plate. Will Elkins at third base, batting seventh. Wyatt Hurt in center field moves up a slot to the 8th spot. And Ben Sills in right field, batting ninth. And on the mound for the Phoenix, Ethan Greer, sophomore, 5'8", 170 pounds, at least a year ago on their JV roster from Unionville, Tennessee. Let's see if they have any of these other players. Tyler Griffin from Antioch, Tennessee, played last year as well. Ben Sills was a freshman a year ago from right here in Wilson Central High School, Lebanon, Tennessee. Of course, Ethan Carter played in Game 1 from Danville, Kentucky. Wyatt Hurt from Priceville, Alabama. See if we have Will Burris from Lebanon High School. And that's the 2021-22 JV roster that's showing online on the Cumberland Baseball website. See how many of these guys maybe on the main roster. Drew Dalton from Des Moines, Washington, Mount Rainier High School, transfer from Centralia College. So Dylan Bland, former Pioneers pitcher before the game, got the chance to talk to him. He's turned in to the closer for the Cumberland Phoenix varsity squad. Baker Fuentes from Crystal Lake, Illinois, transfer from Wabash Valley Junior College, is in this ball game. As I said earlier, Matthew Jenkinson, who finished Game 1 from Roane State Community College. He's from right here in Lebanon, Tennessee, Wilson Central High School. See who else is on the main roster that played in this game or played in Game 1. Will Caro from Seattle, Washington. And here's Jordan Coffey, who's the DH from Edmond, Oklahoma, Deer Creek High School, Northern Oklahoma, an Enid transfer. I think that is all. Of course, the Phoenix varsity is coached by Ryan Hunt, one of the sons of Woody Hunt, longtime coach here at Cumberland University. Scott Hunt, another son, is the head coach at Greenbrier High School. And Pat Bell is an assistant coach in his second season. Another assistant coach, first season with Cumberland, is Matt Risco, a former player, finished in 2020. Drew Lowe is a graduate assistant in his first season from Shawnee State. And that's the coaching staff for the Phoenix. Of course, the coaching staff for the Vol State Pioneers. Head coach Jim McGuire in his second season with Vol State after 26 years that concluded in 2018 with Middle Tennessee State University. And Braden Kale came on as the new pitching coach after Ross Spurgeon left after 1 year and got a full-time pitching coach position at Bellarmine University up in Kentucky. Braden Kale came from Austin Peay State University, where he was a volunteer assistant. Assistant coach John Ripel is a volunteer assistant in his 16th year of coaching. Before coming to Vol State, he was the head coach at Nebraska Wesleyan in Lincoln, Nebraska. And he is a great addition to the Pioneers coaching staff. Got a lot of experience. See if I have any other shout outs. Oh, Aunt Roxy sent in an email after I gave her a shout out. She says she's listening from work today. And up in Somerset, Kentucky is where, not sure if she lives there or that's just where her office is located. But she is friend of Suzanne Godsey, the mother of Landon Godsey, who will be behind the plate for Game 2. I don't think we've seen Landon catch so far this year. He was the backup catcher a year ago, moved out to first base this year and gave way to Braden Vineyard, who was basically the number 3 catcher last year and has now turned into the number 1 catcher. Caleb Hawkins has scuffled a bit at the plate, but I'm going to predict that Caleb Hawkins is going to come through some prime spots this year. His season's not over yet. So, Aunt Roxy, glad to have you that are always listening and watching on our Vol State Sports Network, along with Paul and Suzanne Godsey and many of you, the Burris Group, the Mizell folks, the Vrabels, Mark and Tracy Hall probably check in regularly, even though Matt has not been in the lineup as often. All these guys that were especially starters at the beginning of the year, you feel for them as their playing time has diminished because of maybe a slow start. And you just hope that they get in. When they get in, they have productive outings as the umpires have shown up, made their changes. As Devin Flanagan will now be in the field as the base umpire, and I don't recognize the other umpire, so I won't call his name out, but Devin Flanagan has umpired in several games that I have broadcasted. So, folks, if you're not from around here, you probably have heard on the national news the tragedy that happened yesterday at a Presbyterian Christian school in Nashville, Tennessee, where a young lady made a bad decision to go into a school with several weapons and unfortunately ended the lives of 6 people, 3 young children and 3 adults that were helping with education. So 7 people in total died yesterday, 1 at the as a result of the action as police showed up. So please pray for those folks that are directly and indirectly affected by the tragedy at the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee, and Green Hill, Burton Hills area. So I want to remind you of that as we get started here for Game 2. Ethan Greer out on the mound for the Phoenix. Go through the defensive alignment while we have some extra time. Will Burris out in left field for Cumberland JV. Wyatt Hurt back in center field. Ben Sills out in right field. That is Will Elkins at third base. Baker Fuentes at short. Andrew Dalton, second base. Ethan Carter at first. Behind the plate, Tyler Griffin. I don't have any stats for the Cumberland squad. I don't know that they keep really any of that you would be able to find online. This weekend, of course, there's rain forecasted for Middle Tennessee on Friday, so I would not be surprised to hear that the Friday-Saturday series is moved again. That's at least the third time that a weekend series will be moved, if in fact it is, but weather looks better for Saturday and Sunday and maybe even Sunday and Monday. But the number one team in all of junior college will be coming to Pioneer Field, the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex this weekend, Walters State, as they have had another excellent year. They will bring their squad in, leading the TCCAA in every offensive category. Batting average, hits, runs, home runs, doubles, you name it. They are knocking the ball all over the park. Now the Pioneers are leading the conference in pitching. We'll see what happens after the Walters State series. But Walters State, I think, is second in the conference in pitching. So our 30-minute wait turned into about a 40-minute. We are ready to go for game two as Logan Molnar steps in to face Ethan Greer. First pitch by Greer misses the zone, and we are underway at 3:07 Central Time. 59 degrees, feels like 56 with the wind blowing in. Logan Molnar from Independence High School. Started in game one. He went 1 for 3, scored 2 runs, also had a walk. Swing and a miss. Looks like Greer might be struggling with keeping that lid on his head. Haven't seen it fall off yet, but he seems to be ready for it. Logan Molnar, the son of Joe and Barbara Molnar, and brother to Sam from Thompson Station. Fouls that one down the third base line. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Molnar, Burris, and Godsey due up in the top of the first inning. Pioneers won game 1, trying to get a winning streak here as they are playing in game number 31 of the season. Another foul ball off to the right side. Parking lot off to the left and an open field to the right. There is I assume that's the locker room that's just behind the first base dugout. Some tennis courts back behind. Cumberland has a football team, softball, soccer complex as well. Ground ball to third. Will Elkins up over to Carter. And Molnar is retired. Jake Burris steps to the plate. Burris 1 for 2 in game 1. He had a single. Ended up scoring after a walk in the 5th inning. Flew out in his first at-bat. Fastball high, and there's the hat that does come off. No wonder, with 3 pounds of hair on top of the head. And that was not a strike. That was not a strike either, so we'll get to a 2-ball, no strike count as soon as I can get my little arrow over. Just me running the board today. Hot shot up the middle. Fuentes over to his left and throws on to Carter for out number 2. different ball game than it was a year ago. Pioneers put 19 on the board in game one. Cumberland put 9 on the board in that game. They put 6 on the board in that first inning. Pioneers were down 6-1 after one. Laney Godsey on a pitch it looked like could have been a strike. Tyler Griffin's going to go out and talk to Ethan Greer. Not sure if he's not seeing the signs very well, but apparently Griffin was crossed up there. Godsey had 2 doubles in his first 2 plate appearances in game one. Drove in 3 runs and scored 1. Ended up grounding out, flying out. Finished with a 2-for-4 game one. Breaking pitch on the inside corner. On deck, Jace Mizell. Godsey, a true sophomore right out of Indianapolis, and he's got his 3rd hit of the ball game or of the day. So he gets a 2-out single in the left field. Godsey trying to keep that batting average up. And it is going up with a 3-for-5 so far. Came in hitting .368. Jace Mizell looks at an off-speed pitch about head high. Thanks for joining us on the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter. Glad to have some great internet here after that Dyersburg series. Swung on a fouled back. An MGM Industries foul ball. It'll be nice to get back home, but this is a nice press box. Well, I probably should have brought my field microphone and heard a little bit of crowd noise. Breaking pitch stays upstairs. Wind blowing from the third base side. Good for the left-handed hitters. The Pioneers only have 4. Heads up, Ethan Greer. That ball's off the netting. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes to Pioneers right fielder. Cleanup hitter Jace Mizell. Mizell was 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored in game one. Came out for a pinch hitter, Ethan here, who then took his place in right field for the 7th inning. 2-2 stays high. A full count, Ministries full count. We did not have our right rug flooring player of the game. I'm going to say it's Landon Godsey with a 2-for-4, 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. Swing and a miss by Jace Mizell. That's a no on the full count. First pitch foul ball, and strike 3 ends the inning. Guess we got to have Tanner Bumbleau. Let's go ahead and make Tanner Bumbleau the right rug flooring player of the game with his first collegiate hit as a 3-run home run. We could also name as a co-player of the game Maddox Liebrick, who also got his first collegiate hit, a base hit in that 7th inning. Pioneers do not score in the first inning. Danton Reinhardt on the mound for the Pioneers as we will go to the bottom of the first on the Vol State Sports Network. Danton Reinhardt on for his 6th appearance of the year, 3rd start of the season. Has an 0-3 record, looking to get one in the win column today. Thrown 11 innings, given up 16 hits, 10 runs, 9 were earned, walked 5, struck out 7. Has given up 2 long balls and hit 2 batters. Reinhardt probably looking to go 2 innings at most, as Coach McGuire and Braden Kale probably looking to get 4 pitchers maybe in there. Had 4 in game 1. Maybe try to do the same with game 2. Danton is 6'3", 190-pound redshirt sophomore transfer from Walters State. From Iron City, Tennessee, Wayne County. The son of Brett and Jana Reinhardt. First pitch he delivers to Andrew Dalton. Misses high. Gets in there on the second pitch with a called strike. Hello to Papa and Granny in Iron City, as the Phoenix get their 2nd hit of the day. Leadoff single by Dalton to start this ball game. Baker Fuentes, who will be up after Burris got the only hit of game 1. Throw over to first base. Brody Melton applies a tag, but Dalton already back on the base. Reinhardt 2 looks to first. Delivers a fastball high and outside. Big lead by Dalton. Fastball above the letters for ball 2. Missing high is Danton Reinhardt, the former Louisville jockey in the Ohio Valley League this past summer. .30 misses somewhere. The first 2 have reached here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Single and a walk brings up Baker Fuentes. Year ago, Danton Reinhardt pitched the 7th inning of game 2, 5-0 win by Vol State. Gave up 2 hits, it struck out 2 batters, did not give up a run. Looking for a ground ball here as he's throwing to Landon Godsey. Misses with his 5th straight. Messer in left, Burris in center, Mizell in right, Vrabel at third, Molnar at short, Hall and Melton on the right side. Godsey catching Danton Reinhardt. Nice stop by Godsey. Not sure how much time he has actually spent with the catching gear on this year. It's not as fun on your knees. Runner gets a great jump down there at going to third, and the throw goes down to second base. Nobody covering. And a lapse in communication there. A run in on a stolen base. That's a tough error for Landon Godsey, but I guess you got to give an error. There's a 3-0 strike to Baker Fuentes. Dalton was stealing third. Had a huge jump. There's a fastball in the inside corner. Count goes full. We'll have a full count. Ministries full count. Will Burris now at third base. He'll get a stolen base a second and move to third on the air. Pitch goes inside, second walk. And that will bring pitching coach Braden Kale out of the dugout. Chat with Danton Reinhardt, and he tells Landon Godsey that he'll handle this by himself. So a single by Dalton, a walk to Burris, puts runners at first and second. But lack of communication on the stolen base. Landon Godsey knew he had no chance to get Dalton at third base, so he elected to throw down to second base. But neither Matt Hall or Logan Molnar were covering second. And the throw went into center field. On the play, Drew Dalton scored, and Burris moved over to third base. It's the first error in a number of games for the Pioneers. Now runner at the corners, runner at first takes off. Fake throw down to second base. Pitch is inside for a ball. Reinhardt struggling to throw strikes. And somebody is already listening in the Pioneers bullpen. Another fastball misses inside. Nobody out. A swing and a miss by Jordan Coffey, the DH. Did not play in game one. Young man right there has lifted a weight or two. Pops that one up. That might be playable. Carter Vrabel over toward the Phoenix dugout. Will now watch it land on the other side of the dugout. Reinhardt now back in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Reinhardt pitched down at Calhoun a week ago. Through an inning. That ball is drilled, but it will not stay in the yard. Breaking pitch that Coffey couldn't have kept that fair if he had to. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Look back to second. Pitch misses inside. We'll have a full count. Ministries full count. On deck, Ethan Carter, the first baseman. Hit relatively deep to left field, and then Messer comes in, makes the catch, basket style. Sacrifice fly by Jordan Coffey. Drives in the second run. Baker Fuentes stays at second base. There's the first out. Two runs now in. Ethan Carter steps to the plate. 2 looks back to second base, and Reinhardt delivers fastball outside. Right now, that error making a difference on both runs. Hard to blame Landon Godsey, though. He threw that ball right to the bag. Not sure he would have got the runner, but he did throw it right to the bag. Swing and a miss. Huge cut there by Carter. Back in high school, my son used to call that a JV hack. Today, that would be very accurate. Reinhardt behind in the count again. 3 balls and a strike. Two walks in the inning. Jordan Coffey hit a full count. There's a ground ball to third. Vrabel looks the runner back at second. Throws to Melton at first. Retires Ethan Carter. So Ethan Carter retired by Carter Vrabel for out number 2. Good job by Reinhardt to come back on the 3-1 count. That brings to the plate the catcher, the 6-hole hitter, Tyler Griffin. With 2 outs, a runner at second base. Ball fouled off to the right side. A lot of foul balls today. MGM Industries, they put in the brand new windows in a remodeled press box. Looking forward to getting back there this weekend. Fouled straight back. That will be caught by Landon Godsey on the rebound. Pioneers back to for the Walter State series this weekend, and then face these same Cumberland JV squad. Godsey catches that one between his legs. He's got this arena baseball thing down. That's pretty good. A quick study off that very, very tight screen that is the backstop here at Woody Hunt Stadium. 0-2 pitch, way high and outside. Athletic move there by Landon, the quiet Landon Godsey. Doesn't say a whole lot, but he's pretty quick with a smile. 2 outs. Fuentes at second, and another foul ball. Nice play by Will Elkins on deck for that snag. Plate umpire keeps pointing over to the, or showing fingers to the dugout. He needs some more baseballs. I'm waiting for him to hold up 7 fingers next time. Keeps adding 3 and then 4. There's a pitch on the outside corner called strike. Reinhardt finally gets that 3rd out, but the Phoenix scored 2 runs on only 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base after 1 inning here in game 2, scheduled for 7. Cumberland leads 2-0. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Top of the second inning we go. Carter Vrabel will lead off for the Pioneers against Ethan Greer. Vrabel 0 for 3, I think, in game 1. Did have a walk. But not the game that he had in either game a year ago. There's a hot shot up the middle, but Fuentes ranges to his left, throws over to Carter to retire Carter Vrabel. Synthetic turf infield gives you some nice true hops. Nice true ground balls. Landon Luderman steps in for his first at-bat of the day. True freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, Knoxville Catholic High School. Starts to go. They want to check down with the umpire at first base, but the home plate umpire says he couldn't see that any better than I could. He's on the wrong side. Landon Luderman been in that DH role a couple different times. This is game number 10 for him this year. Let's get the 2 balls up there on the count. Good hitter, just hadn't found his stride yet as he takes a cut at that one. Comes up empty. Can play third base, can catch. And he can hit line drive to center field, but that one is right at Wyatt Hurt. Luderman, the son of Daniel and Shannon Luderman, brother to Hudson and Easton. And another true freshman, Sam Milton, the son of Sam Melton is Brody Melton. So he bats with 2 outs and nobody on. And the son of Amy Morris from Tullahoma. He's from Tullahoma High School, Tullahoma, Tennessee. Economics major, 6'4", 205-pound freshman. Melton also has been in that DH role at times. Breaking pitch stays high. Just haven't hit their stride. He had one of the best falls of any Pioneer this past year, hitting 400. Led the team, I think, in home runs with 4. Just has struggled here in the spring. Has 4 hits and 29 at-bats, 1 double, 1 triple. He's also looking for his first collegiate home run in a meaningful game. I think he was thinking that was going to come for his ribs. Sharp breaking pitch right there at the end. On deck, Jacob Messer. Line drive down the right field line, but it will hook or slice. It's a slice for me. It's definitely a slice. Golfing term down that right field line. Bring us to a full count. Ministries, full count. 0 for 2 on full count. First pitch foul balls here in game number 2. And there's a base hit for Brody Melton. Atta boy, Brody. We'll take a no on that, but a base hit. 2-out knock. A second 2-out base hit by the Pioneers. Lanny Gotze got one in the first inning. 2 hits for the Pioneers brings left-handed hitting Jacob Messer playing left field from Memphis University School. He swings at the first pitch he sees, fouls that out of play to the left side. Not too far over there, Jacob. My truck's over there. My Toyota Gallatin Tundra's parked over there. The parking spaces were very, very difficult to find here on this campus. 0-1 pitch. Tapped toward the dugout. Carter Vrabel could not make the grab. He's got his glove on, ready, standing at the top step of the dugout. They're good friends, Carter Vrabel and Jacob Messer. Redshirt sophomore, third-year player for the Pioneers. Another good hitter that just has not been able to get untracked here in 2023, and swings and misses at that high fastball. And Pioneers strand another runner. Second strikeout for Ethan Greer. No runs, one hit, no errors, one runner left on base. Pioneers find themselves down 2-0 going to the bottom of the second. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube, Twitter, and Channel 19. Summit Concrete called to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Noah Ward on in relief of Danton Reinhardt. Ward getting his third appearance on the mound for the Pioneers. Pitched last week at Calhoun as well. Thrown 3 innings, given up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run. Walked 1, struck out 2, has a 3.0 ERA. And he will face 7, 8, and 9 here in the bottom of the second inning for Cumberland JV. First pitch swinging is Will Elkins to Logan Molnar. And Elkins retired on the 6-3 put out. Good start for Noah Ward, the right-hander from Knoxville, Tennessee. Also a two-way player is Noah Ward. First pitch that he delivers to Wyatt Hurt, the center fielder, in there for a strike. Got my list of all these players, my roster, my enhanced roster that has parents' names and grandparents' names. And Noah Ward, I keep thinking he's over there on the pitcher side, but for some reason I put him on the hitter side, thinking he was going to get more opportunities hitting, but he has been on that pitcher side. 6'2", 200-pound freshman from Knoxville Catholic. He and Landon Luterman, teammates back in high school. Wyatt Hurt, the center fielder, is now up in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Noah, the son of Melissa Ward, has a younger brother and a younger sister, and he has Wyatt Hurt swinging and missing, bringing us to a full count Ministries full count. Ball State alumni Jake Oldham and Josh Carmen, full-time employees with Full Count Ministries. And there is our first full count, first pitch foul ball of game 2, 1 for 4 now in this contest. Big thanks to Full Count Ministries for the use of their broadcasting equipment for Vol State baseball. And he is rung up on the swing. He tried to hold up, but kind of backing away while he was starting to swing. And Ward gets his first strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. For the Phoenix, Ben Sills, the right fielder, steps in. Breaking pitch on the inside corner called strike. I believe Sills played in these games a year ago as well. Let's see if we have. Yes, he did. Check swing foul ball. Ward ahead in the count 0-2. Sills 0 for 3 in the 5-0 games. Game 2. See what he did in game 1 of that. He was 2 for 4 in game 1. The 0-2 pitch from Ward on the outside corner, and he gets Sills looking. 2 strikeouts for Noah Ward. We'll see if he comes back out for the third, but he sits the Cumberland Phoenix JV down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. Heading to the top of the third, thank you for joining me on the Vol State Sports Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Phoenix, number 7, Trey McNeese. See if he shows up on their main roster. There he is. Shows a freshman from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Mount Juliet High School, left-handed pitcher, 5'9", 155 pounds. And he will face 9-1-2 here in the top of the third inning. That's Matt Hall, Logan Molnar, and Jake Burris. Matt Hall fouls the first pitch he sees. Down right in front of head coach Jim McGuire. So Ethan Greer goes 2 innings, gives up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Matt Hall from Lexington, Kentucky, son of Mark and Tracy Hall, sophomore, fouls that pitch just over the backstop. Hall playing in game number 16 of the year. 6 for 36, or 6 for 37, looking for his first extra base hit. And almost hit by that pitch. He's been hit 3 times this year. That pitch went behind him. So Trey McNeese, the new pitcher for the Cumberland JV squad, looks in, long look into catcher Griffin. There is a line drive up the middle for Matt Hall. Nice start here to the top of the third inning. Or the sophomore from Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Is that what I'm remembering? He was the starting second baseman a year ago for, there we go, Paul Lawrence Dunbar. A runner on at first base. Logan Molnar steps in. It's the third hit for the Pioneers. And there's the fourth hit. Logan Molnar drives one into left field, putting runners at first and second. Nobody out, and Jake Burris stepping to the plate. Pioneers are down 2 runs. Logan Molnar's second hit of the day. Jake Burris had one in game 1 as well. Looking to pick up multiple hits here. Grounded out to short. He will drop the hands on the bat for a sacrifice. I think he leads the squad in sacrifices. I believe he's got 5. He will attempt to bunt. Looked like he tried to pull his bat back at the last second, but home plate umpire said he offered. Jake does have 5 sacrifice hits. He has half of the Pioneers' sack bunts this year. Runner goes from second. Pitch is fouled off to the right side. Hall will head back. Molnar was not going on that pitch for some reason. Molnar is normally the very aggressive runner. Matt Hall has 1 stolen base. Molnar with 3. The Pioneers have yet to be caught this year. As I told you, had a couple stolen bases in game 1. Jake Burris had 1. Logan Molnar had 1. Big Jay Sharla had 2, so there's 4. So about 50 out of 50 so far. There's a drive into left center field. That will get down in front of Will Burris. Matt Hall will be sent to the plate. There will be no throw. Jake Burris drives in the Framework Athletics first run of the game for Vol State. 3 singles back to back to back. And that will get a visit from the coach, as Vol State has cut the lead in half. Ball was held up a little bit out there. I thought that was going to get into the gap a little bit more, but it died when it hit the grass or when it got out to the left fielder. Molnar not able to advance up to third base. Matt Hall with a single up the middle. Logan Molnar a single to the left, and Burris with a single to the left. Have the Pioneers threatening for more than 1 run here in the top of the third inning. And Landon Gotze steps in. He is 3 for 5 thus far in the doubleheader. 2 doubles and a single. He drives one to center field. Back goes Wyatt Hurt, but he gets under it. Tagging on the play is Molnar. Throw into third is not in time. Jake Burris will stay at first base. So a productive out by Landon Gotze. Puts Molnar in scoring position with less than 2 outs at third. So Jace Mizell steps in. He was a strikeout victim in the first inning. Catcher Tyler Griffin will come out in front of the plate. Call the first and third signals on whether or not he's going to throw through or hold the ball or throw down to third, what the play might be. But I say I doubt Burris is going to try to get held up, and he's going to be tugged out at first base, but Logan Molnar will steal home for the tying run. Burris will be caught stealing 2-6-3. And there's the first caught stealing of the year for the Pioneers, but it produces a run. Pitch called a strike. Tapper down to third base line, and he will let it go. Smart move by Will Elkins. It's been a tough play to get Jace Mizell at first base. So the Pioneers were, 50 out of 50 until their first caught stealing. Oh, 0-2 pitch coming to Jace Mizell with nobody on. 2 outs, 2 runs in. There's a smash down to third. Elkins up. Over to Carter, who stretches to make the grab for out number 3. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're all tied up after 2.5. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Noah Ward back out on the mound for the Pioneers. He will face the top of the lineup for Cumberland Junior Varsity. Phoenix Andrew Dalton hitting from the left side. Switch hitter. Ward retired the 3 batters he faced in his second. It's a smash to second baseman Matt Hall. Catches on one hop, and he throws over to Melton at first base for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Dan Reinhardt went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, 2 runs. Only 1 was earned. Walked 2, struck out a batter. Gave away to Noah Ward. Fastball misses outside. Will Burris at the plate. He walked and scored in the first inning. Fouls that one off, out of play. Sun behind a bit of a cloud or two here as we start the bottom of the 3rd. Noah Ward played a gap year between his senior year, after a senior year at Knox Catholic. Played for Brett Carroll Academy, BCA, for a year before coming to Vol State this year. So he's a freshman with another year of eligibility. He gets a strike called there. Burris was 0 for 3 in game 1. Nice backhanded pick there by Landon Godsey. Brings us to a full count. Ministries full count. Stay tuned after the game. We'll have the full count Ministries verse of the game right after the right rug flooring player of the game. We'll try to get our games in and there, get our sponsors in, as there's a full count first pitch foul ball. Weren't able to do it at Dyersburg, basically because I was talking to myself with the bad internet, and the music was played every possible second there, so I couldn't stay on very long. Hot shot down to third, backhanded by Vrabel, down his knees, stands up. Nice pick by Brody Melton. So both ends, great plays. And Noah Ward says, great job to both guys. Nice backhanded pick by Vrabel. Might have ripped his pants down there as I see him reaching down to that left knee. He had to go to a knee to backhand that one. The throw was in the turf. That ball's popped up. Matt Hall should have an easy play here. He will come in to make the catch for out number 3. So 6 up, 6 down for Noah Ward. A great outing for the freshman. We're all tied up after 3, scheduled for 7 here in game 2. You're listening to Vol State Sports Network. All right, folks, another broadcasting error. I will keep it right here as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning, but Carter Vrabel grounded out to third base. Landon Luderman grounded out to third, and Brody Melton just gave the ball a ride to dead center field as for some reason I vapor locked and neglected to turn my microphone on. I don't know why I have to do that once a game. I ought to just do it before we start and just get it over with, but I don't. But that was Will Graham on the mound for the Cumberland Phoenix, 5'9", 170-pound freshman from Lebanon, Tennessee. He got the Pioneers 1-2-3 in the top of the fourth. A very quick inning. I bet there wasn't 10 pitches thrown right there. Noah Ward coming out for a third inning. Kind of surprising. But he has set down the 6 batters that he has faced. And he gets Jordan Coffey swinging on the first fastball that he delivers. Coffey had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner at the knees. Ward ahead in the count. 0-2 pitch. That could be close to the Toyota of Gallatin 2020 1794 edition Toyota Tundra that I bought from Wayne Hobdy, my salesman over at Toyota Gallatin. Ground ball up the middle. Matt Hall ranges to his right and throws Coffey out at first base. Good thing Noah Ward did not get that with his glove. He tried to, but Matt Hall says, "I got you, Noah." Ethan Carter steps to the plate, first baseman for the Phoenix. Grounded out to Vrabel at third. Pitch missed somewhere. Pioneers won game 1, 7-0. Combined 1-hit shutout by 4 pitchers: Nathan Rhodes, Keegan Evick, Devin Thrain, and Brett Dowling. Only 1 hit to Baker Fuentes, who played third base in game 1. He's playing shortstop here as breaking pitch catches the inside corner at the knees. Noah Ward in his third inning of work, now facing his 8th batter. 7 up, 7 down. Could be 8 up and 8 down. That ball's popped up in the shallow center field. Matt Hall gives away to Jace Mizell, who makes the catch. So Matt Hall is happy to play well with others in the sandbox. He didn't have to get all of the outs here in the 4th inning. Now allows his buddy from Metropolis, Illinois, Jace Mizell, to get a put out. 2 up, 2 down. Tyler Griffin steps to the plate. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Catcher for the Phoenix. He struck out looking to end the first. And there's a ground ball that does get off of Noah Ward's body of some sort. I'm not sure if he got the glove or what body part. Carter Vrabel and Landon Gotze will check on Noah. He says he's okay. So an infield single by Tyler Griffin, who will give way to a pinch runner. Hunter Williams will pinch run. This might be a catcher type thing. Will Elkins steps in. That's a first base runner that Noah Ward has allowed in his 9th batter. Matt Hall tries to get up there, but cannot make the grab. Strong throw in by Jace Mizell. Now runners at first and second. 2 singles by Tyler Griffin and Will Elkins. Wyatt Hurt steps into the box. 2 outs and 2 on. Cumberland JV scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. 1 was earned on 1 hit. There was 2 walks in that inning. No Ward has been throwing strikes as he does right there to Hurt, who made that nice catch of Brody Melton drive in the top of the 4th. The wind blowing out there. You can see the umpire's shirt and the side of Will Hurt's shirt blowing in the breeze. Another breaking pitch on the inside corner. Ward ahead, 0-2. Looks like Cade Sanders getting loosened up in the bullpen. He might be coming in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2 pitch. As Ward looks back twice, and he gets a called strike 3. That's a good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Wyatt Hurt looked at 3 straight. That is the 3rd strikeout for Noah Ward. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We're going to the 5th, scheduled for 7. Still tied up. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network on our YouTube channel, on Twitter, and on Channel 19, Vol State Community College Local Access Channel. Tim Reese on the Vol State Sports Network. Glad to have you all along on some good internet, good broadcasting internet. Directly plugged in here as we are back at the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex on the campus of Vol State as well. Leading off is the free-swinging Jacob Messer, who does not let a first pitch strike go by without taking a hack. Struck out swinging, I think, on a 3-2 pitch to end the 2nd. Leading off the 5th, swing and a miss. Now down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Messer still looking for his first hit of the year. Maybe he got it there. Line out to right field. That is over the head of Ben Sills, and there is the first hit of the year for Jacob Messer. It's been a long time coming, but he is a solid hitter. Glad to see Jacob get that hit. A leadoff double over the head of the right fielder, Ben Sills. And Matt Hall steps to the plate. He singled and scored in the 3rd. So 3 players for the Pioneers getting their first hit of the year. Tanner Bumbleau, a 3-run home run in game 1. Maddox Liebrick, a single into right field. And now a double off the bat of Jacob Messer. There's a ground ball too short. Fuentes, strong throw, and just got Matt Hall, who was busting it down the line. Fuentes may have almost held on to that one a little bit too long. Tell Hall was frustrated at first, but then he kicked it into high gear and about beat that ground ball out. Logan Molnar steps to the plate, leadoff batter for the Pioneers. 1 for 2, singled and scored in the third. He was in the middle of that back-to-back-to-back base hits. Hits one hard to third. Will Elkins will look back the runner at second and retire Molnar. Hard hit shot, but right at the third baseman. Jake Burris now going to be called on to drive in Messer with 2 outs. Burris also 1 for 2. He drove in Matt Hall for the Framework Athletics first run of the game in the third inning, looking to give the Pioneers the lead. Breaking pitch just barely missed. The 1-0 tapped foul down that third base line. Thank you all for joining us on the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube. We got about 40 of you watching there. See if I can check, see how many of you have chosen to watch on our Twitter page. That pitch missed somewhere. I don't know where it missed. I'm just a little off center, but can't really see high and low, but two outs. Messer out at second base, getting a good lead. Pitch misses down away. Looks like 7 of you on our Twitter. Parker White joining. Hello, Parker White. Left-handed starter on the weekend. High fly ball out to left center field. Left fielder Will Burris will call off Wyatt Hurt and collect the third out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 runner left on base. We're still tied going to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll have a new pitcher out on the mound for the Pioneers. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Cadro Sanders Many of you know him as just Cade Sanders. He's Cade Rowe to me. 5'11", 205-pound redshirt sophomore from Hendersonville, Tennessee, Hendersonville High School. The son of Clay and Tressa Sanders, brother to Kylie Ann Witten, and the grandson of Nama in Hendersonville, granddad in Centerville. Cade part of the full count 242 group. Sanders on for his 8th appearance, all in relief. His 0-1 record, 10 2/3 innings, 13 hits, 9 strikeouts, and looking probably to get an inning worth of work in here for the Pioneers. Comes into a 2-2 ball game. He holds the Phoenix here, and his hitters get him a run in the bottom or the top of the 6th. That ball swung on first pitch and out to right field. Jace Mizell will make the catch out of your view. Trust me, he made it. For out number 1, 1 pitch, 1 out. Ben Sills now 0 for 2. And we'll bring up leadoff batter Andrew Dalton, who's 1 for 2. Single to start the game off for the Phoenix. Scored their first run of the game. Grounded out to second base in his last at-bat. Nice pitch by Sanders, missed somewhere. Cade's father, a Belmont baseball alum, Hall of Famer, shortstop. Had at one point in time, I think, the most career doubles, maybe, and or maybe the most doubles in a season for Belmont. Played when Belmont was an NAIA school, just as I did. There's a ground ball. Quick Cade. We're going to just call him Quick Cade. That's the second ball coming right back at Cade Sanders. He had a line drive come at him up at Dyersburg that he caught and ran over to first base for an unassisted double play. This one he actually does toss to Brody Melton. That's what we're going to do. We got Country Cade McKee, and now we're going to have Quick Cade. Breaking pitch to Will Burris in there for a called strike. Country Cade McKee. We got Landon Tucker, Cade Sanders, Chase Birdwell, and the only non-pitcher, Ethan Huddleston, part of the Full Count Ministries 242 discipleship group. Meets on Friday mornings. Love meeting with those guys. Breaking pitch just misses outside. They've been faithful all year long. Two one, 2 outs. Fly ball out to right field. Again, you won't see it, but Jace Mizell will make the catch in foul territory. And 3 up, 3 down for Quick Cade Sanders. We're heading to the, what inning are we going to? The top of the 6th inning. Still tied, 0-0. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. To the top of the sixth we go. The Phoenix with a new pitcher on the mound, right-hander Harley Hinshaw, 6'4", 220-pound sophomore from Manchester, Tennessee. In relief of Will Graham, who went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, did not walk a batter, did not strike out a batter. Pioneers have 2 runs on 6 hits. And they will send 3, 4, and 5 to the plate here in the top of the 6th inning, looking for the lead. Right-hander pitches from the stretch. Fastball misses outside. Landon Gotze 1 for 2 in this game. 2 for 4. So a 3 for 6 day. Fouls that one off on the other side of the bullpen. Sunshine back again. Here's Pioneers finishing up game 2 of the midweek game. Play Walter State this weekend. Drive out to center field sends Wyatt Hurt over into the gap in right center. He can cover some ground out there. Makes the catch for out number 1. And Jace Mizell getting another plate appearance. This will be at bat number 6 for the day. For the pride of Metropolis, Illinois, he swings. Fouls that one apparently. It ends up out in front of the plate, but not sure what that actually went off of. Mizell over 2 here in game 2, was 1 for 3 in game 1. Had a double. Now down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes with Carter Vrabel on deck. Mizell and Vrabel, roommates. Both were at Wabash Valley together. Both transferred to Vol State last year. Had excellent years for the Pioneers. Vrabel was at third base. Mizell mostly the DH. Now moved out to right field. Does an excellent job out in right field, and it's been a mainstay in the middle of the lineup. Leads the squad with 6 home runs. Swing and a miss on an inside pitch right there, probably off the plate. First strikeout for Hinshaw. Retired the first 2 batters he faced. Now Carter Vrabel, who's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, steps in. Wind looks like it's blowing now out toward left or toward third. There's a ground ball down the third base line. It just goes foul. Vrabel had a double down that left field line over in Dyersburg. Ended up having 2 doubles in the 3-game series. Was 4 for 10 in that series. On deck, DH Landon Luderman. Second batter to ask for time as Wind, I assume, has kicked up some dust right there at the plate. Gets in the batter's eyes. Carter Vrabel with those baby blue molded cleats and his hot pink elbow sleeve, looking very GQ out there as he swings and misses. 2 outs, nobody on. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hello to Papa and Grammy, who are down, I believe, somewhere in the Florida area. Fouled off of his leg. He will limp that one off. And Papa and Graham in Dubuque, Iowa, grandparents of Carter Vrabel. Last thing you want to do is pick up an injury on a midweek game, much less any other time, but back in there and ready to go. We'll move to a full count Ministries, full count. Carter, the son of Mike and Jennifer Vrabel and brother to Tyler. Looking to get back in the hit column. Pops that one up. It should get out of play. Now 3 for 6 on full count first pitch foul balls. Major league average 70%. So far college right around 50%. That higher you go in talent, the more the full count pitch, first pitch after the count becomes full, it gets fouled off. Pitchers make better pitches. Hitters able to foul that pitch off. Ground ball to short. Fuentes up and over to Ethan Carter. A 1-2-3 inning for the Phoenix. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning, all tied up. 2-2. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Quick Cade Sanders still out there on the mound for the Pioneers, getting in his 2nd inning of work. He will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Phoenix lineup. Baker Fuentes, Jordan Coffey, Ethan Carter are scheduled. Looks like Fuentes walked and popped out, and he's grounded a ball that Carter Vrabel able to dive in the hole and throw from his knees onto Brody Melton to retire Fuentes. Another outstanding play by the Pioneers infield. This one, Carter Vrabel. If the coach is going to come out and talk to the base umpire on that play, did he think that Melton did not hold his foot on the base? He's going to ask base umpire Devin Flanagan to talk to the home plate umpire to see if he saw anything different. They're going to say he's out. But a star by that play right there. Star by the play that Cade Sanders made on the comebacker. Now Jordan Coffey up, and he will look at a breaking pitch for a called strike. On the lineup card, it said that Jordan Coffey is number 33, but he's absolutely wearing number 34 on his jersey. But I didn't notice what he had on when he first went up there, and he sure looks like the same guy that was up there in the first inning. So I'm assuming this is still Jordan Coffey. Sanders trying to nibble on that outside corner with that breaking pitch. And there's not a number 34 on the handwritten roster that I have. Put all that together. That's a drive out to left field. If it's fair, it's going to be problem. And it will go foul, but stay in the ballpark. Wind looks like it's blowing to the, I guess, the third base line. Not necessarily out to left field, but ball looked like it was hit pretty well, but did not go over the fence, but I knew it was going to struggle to stay fair. And the count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coffey 0 for 1 with a sac fly. On deck, Ethan Carter. Now I have a full count Ministries, full count. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Sanders. He gets his first strikeout of the ball game. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th. Carter steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. DeLynn Charla, if you're still listening in and you want to, send me in a good Bible verse we can use for our Full Count Ministries verse of the game. Nice breaking pitch. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, Tyler Griffin. That was close. I don't know where it missed, but it missed somewhere. There's a called strike. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on base. The 2-2 tapped foul. Thanks to Right Rug Flooring, Carrie Gilbert, for providing the carpeting in the newly remodeled press box. Thanks to Dan Zettel, who helped with the countertop. MGM Industries, their custom-made windows. Ground ball to Molnar, gets on a short hop, and the throw in the turf. Brody Melton says, no problem, I'll dig that out. For out number 3, Cade Sanders with 6 up, 6 down in his 2 innings of work. We'll head to the 7th. We're scheduled for 7. All tied up 2-2. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. We're back for what's scheduled to be the final inning, but I don't believe if it's tied that we'll end it right here. We'll go on and play extra innings. And actually, I just looked at an email that DeLynn Charlotte Big J Charlotte's mom had sent in earlier about the tragedy, and it actually has a verse on there. DeLynn, if you're listening, don't worry about sending one in. I'm going to pull it right off of your email. We will use that as our Full Count Ministries verse of the game or games today after we name the right rug flooring player of the game. Could it be Landon Luderman? Looks at a first pitch strike. Player of the game could be the one who drives in the game-winning RBI here in the top of the 7th inning. Six hits for the Pioneers by 6 different players. Landon Luderman looking for his first hit. Game 1, our right rug flooring players of the game were the 2 players who got their first collegiate hits. Tanner Bumbelow, a 3-run home run, and Maddox Libra, because that ball's grounded to short. Fuentes up and over for out number 1. Brody Melton steps in. He is 1 for 2. There's a drive out to left field. Could that be it? Brody Melton's first collegiate home run. It's been a long time coming right there, folks. Brody Melton gives the Pioneers the lead. Could he be the right rug flooring player of the game with that solo shot to left field? Congratulations, Brody Melton and the Melton family. Sam Melton, Amy Morris. Gotta have that right. As Jacob Messer steps in. He takes a healthy cut, comes up empty. Amy Morris, that is right. I've not met Amy, I've met Sam. But I'm sure Amy listens in regularly. Swing and a miss. Messer down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. He got his first hit of the year, a double over the head of right fielder Ben Sills in the 5th inning. Matt Hall on deck. Breaking pitch by Harley Henshaw out for his 2nd inning. That was the first hit that he has given up. It just happened to be a big fly to Brody Melton, true freshman from Tullahoma, Tennessee. There's the 2nd hit of the year for Jacob Messer as he goes the other way. Good to see Messer getting some success here. And we'll have a call to the bullpen as head coach Pat Bell will come out to get the ball from Harley Henshaw. So 1 run in on the solo home run by Brody Melton. And we have a new pitcher. We'll tell you as much as we know about him when we come back. I'll tell you this, he's really tall. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Getting news. I got fact checkers here from Cincinnati, Ohio, huh? Justin Boggs from Sin City, Cincinnati. Does it say what high school he went to? Walnut Hills High School. Talking about my hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio, the hometown of Ethan here, and Walnut Hills. Transfer from the University of Charleston. 7'2", Justin Boggs. He's not really that tall. He's probably about 6'8", though. That's a tall young man out there, and he'll face the 5'9" Matt Hall. Matt Hall starts to square around a bunt, and he won't have to as that ball gets off the glove of Tyler Griffin. And Jacob Messer will move up on the, I don't know if it's going to be a pass ball or looks to me like he probably should have had that one. Ball one, we'll see if Matt Hall is going to be asked to bunt here. I would doubt it. First and third. First baseman is in, but he does not. That pitch is wild again. That one he couldn't have had. So a pass ball, wild pitch moved Messer to third base where he stands with one out. Pioneers have taken a 3-2 lead here in the top of the seventh inning on a solo home run by Brody Melton. Looking to get an insurance run, and Matt Hall got one into the left thigh there, which would not have felt good. Hall 1 for 2. Singled in the second, and he walked here in the seventh. Putting runners at first and third. In the top of the order, Logan Molnar steps in. Harley Henshaw went 1 in the third innings, gave up 2 hits. One was a big fly. And on the hook for the loss right now. And Jacob Messer, who's on at third base, is his responsibility. Struck out one batter. Did not walk a batter. Molnar up, 1 out and 2 on. Fastball in the inside corner. I think he wanted to take a hack at that one, but thought maybe it was just a little bit too far inside. Justin Boggs on in relief, and he is looking for a ground ball in the worst way. Short and second playing somewhat like double play depth. Runner's going to go on to second base on that ball that got away from Tyler Griffin. Hall was not going till he saw the ball down, so I have to get another pass ball to Tyler Griffin. In my book, that's not an official book. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, number 1 at the plate, Logan Molnar. Fastball misses away. Molnar 1 for 3. He's grounded out to third base twice. Singled and scored in the third. It's a hard shot ground ball. It falls down as he's going to first base. And Coach McGuire is sending the runner from second base home. And he'll come in and score on the error at shortstop by Fuentes. He tried to come in and make some kind of a scoop. I'm not sure why he didn't try to knock that one down at first, but I think he just tried to scoop it to get the runner going at the plate. And the wheels falling off here for the Phoenix. Jake Burris has to get that pretty face out of the way there. That fastball. 2-run score on would be, I'm not sure that you can give an RBI on that one, because if he handles that ball, there's a chance that Messer gets thrown out at the plate. He was going on contact, but shortstop had moved in. So 3 runs in for the Pioneers here in the top of the 7th. They take a 5-2 lead. Nice backhand stop by Griffin on that breaking pitch. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. Justin Boggs just been a little bit wild here, but that error at shortstop did not help, as both runs came in and Molnar reached first base. Throw over to first. Not in time. Still only 1 out. Burris 1 for 3. Fastball high. Boggs looks like he does get it up there pretty good, but it's not consistently around the zone. Been many Cincinnati fellas that have come down here to Middle Tennessee. Ball 4. Burris will take the free pass to first base. Second walk of the inning. Second walk by Boggs. And out of the dugout will come Coach. I keep saying it's Pat Bell. I assume it is. We'll have a pitching change in the top of the 7th inning. Number 32 is Justin Boggs. He goes out. And we'll find out who the new pitcher is. Tell you about him when we return on the Vol State Sports Network. New pitcher on for the Phoenix. Right-hander Ethan Baird from Cunningham, Tennessee, Montgomery Central High School. And he comes into a 1-out situation with runners at first and second, and 3-hole hitter Landon Godsey stepping to the plate, who's hungry for another hit. 1 for 3. Looking to go 2 for 4 in both games, and there's a slow breaking pitch over for a called strike. Game was tied 2-2 going into the top of the 7th inning. And after 1 was out, Brody Melton hit his first collegiate home run. Runners start to go, and that pitch will hit Landon Godsey and increase his bruise leads the team now with 7 hit by pitches. Carter Vrabel next with 5. So now the bases are loaded. And Jace Mizell steps up. I gave it an out there. See if we can figure out here what's going on. First pitch to Mizell, misses the zone. 1 out. Logan Molnar down at third, Jake Burris at second. There's a shot caught by third baseman Will Elkins. Everybody able to get back. So a line out for Mizell, and that's out number 2. Just hooked that a little bit too much. Could Carter Vrabel do it again? He hit a grand slam here last year. One of his 4 home runs a year ago. He would love to get one here. And there's a deep drive to left field, but he's not moving anywhere. He knows that ball's going foul. And I believe it did go out of the stadium. He could not keep that one between the lines. He hit one of the bases loaded at Dyersburg that was, or was that a Calhoun, I think. 0-1. Breaking pitch nearly hit Vrabel. One is popped up in the infield. That's playable for somebody. Not sure if the catcher can get over there. Third baseman came almost to the plate and ran into Tyler Griffin. But the ball falls to the turf, and Carter Vrabel gets another crack at it. Ball was in the air a long time, but the catcher, Tyler Griffin, did not know where that ball was until too late. Carter Vrabel, the 9th batter to come to the plate. Landon Luderman hoping to get another crack at it here in the top of the 7th. Drilled down the left field line. That will hook foul as well. Pitches inside to Carter Vrabel. He's unable to wait back. But they're just probably so far off the plate that it's not going to do any good. Just spoil them. 1-2 pitch. And that will hit him. He'll get an RBI with the bruise. And the Pioneers have batted around. So the second hit batter by Ethan Baird brings Landon Luderman to the plate. He started this inning out with a ground out to shortstop. Strike called in the right-handed batter's box. Luderman 0 for 3, looking for that first hit of the game. Been a little while since he's had one. Swings and misses at a ball that barely got to the plate. Now down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. That one's just a bit outside. Could Brody Melton, who's on deck, get another shot here in the 7th? Nice block by Griffin. Burris down at third. Godsey at second. Vrabel at first. In the dirt or the brown turf. Moves us to a full count. Ministries full count. The base runners will be running on the pitch with 2 outs. 3-2 is way outside. Ball 4. Ball State now leads 7-2. Hit by pitch, a line out. Another hit by pitch, and now a walk from Ethan Baird. He'll have to face Brody Melton, who hit a solo shot to give the Pioneers the 3-2 lead. He hits one hard. Landon Godsey. What did I say? I think I've got the wrong people. Landon Godsey's at third. Vrabel's at second. Luderman at first. Vrabel or Godsey had to dip down, keep from getting drilled by that one. Baird sails one over the top of Melton's helmet. Nobody loosening in the bullpen. I think the rest of this ball game is Ethan Baird's. You just got to get one more out. Gets Melton to swing and miss. Melton 2 for 3. Right now the leader in the clubhouse for the right rug flooring player of the game. Fouls that one toward the parking lot. I hope that didn't hit any vehicles in the lot. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Corbin Overbay on deck to hit for Messer if Melton gets on. Nearly got hit in the arm with that pitch. Baird struggling to find the strike zone. Hit 2 batters, walked 1, has gotten 1 out, and gets Melton to swing and miss over the top of hopefully a changeup. And the Pioneers are finally retired. But they do score 5 runs on just 2 hits. There was 1 big error and 3 runners left on base. They've opened up a 7-2 lead here in going to the last inning, bottom of the 7th. See who's going to close this one out for the Pioneers. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese back on the campus of Cumberland University in Lebanon, Tennessee. We move to the bottom of the 7th inning, scheduled 4-7. Pioneers put 5 on the board in the top of the 7th to take the lead, and Chase Birdwell, redshirt sophomore from right here in Lebanon, Tennessee, Lebanon High School, on in relief for the Pioneers. The Summit Concrete call to the bullpen in relief of Cade Sanders, who's in line for the victory. He went 2 innings, no hits, no walks, struck out 1 in 2 shutout innings, 6 up, 6 down for quick Cade Sanders. Chase Birdwell on for his 9th appearance of the year on relief. 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 save, 13 2/3 innings. Giving up 7 hits, 5 runs. They were earned, walked 7. Struck out 21 batters in those 13 innings, a 3.29 ERA. Chase Birdwell, 6 foot, 200-pound, redshirt sophomore. The son of Deanna and Troy Rogers, big brother to Riley Reese, Raylan and Mackenzie, grandson of Nana and Gandy in Gallatin, and Gigi and Paul in Lebanon. Third-year player for the Pioneers. On to nail this one down for Vol State to get a 2-game winning streak going. He will face 6, 7, and 8 Tyler Griffin, Will Elkins, and Wyatt Hurt, who are scheduled in the bottom of the 7th inning. Griffin 1 for 2, and he swings and misses. Chase Birdwell throws the ball mid to upper 80s and has a big 12-6 breaking pitch. Misses with that fastball. Probably wants to cut down on those 7 walks. That ball is lifted out to left field. Looks like Jacob Messer. Still's Jacob Messer. Is that big Jay Charla out there in left field now? That big Jay Charla has snuck into left field on me. Jay Burris is out in center, and Jace Mizell still at third. 1 out. And the new batter here wearing number 2. See if I can find out who that is. Strike called to Jaron Myers. Pinch hitting for Will Elkins. Now down in the count, 0-2. Chase Birdwell, the 4th pitcher used by head coach Jim McGuire today in game 2. There's a swing and a miss. Bird gets his first strikeout. And Cumberland down to their last strike. Wyatt Hurt steps to the plate. He struck out twice, once swinging, once looking. Breaking pitch misses high. Not a save situation here for Chase Birdwell as Pioneers are up 5 runs. He's just looking to get tuned up for this weekend in case he's needed. Strike called on the fastball at the knees. Ben Sills on deck, hoping for another shot in the batter's box. Landon Godsey's been behind the plate. That one hopped up over his glove and caught the umpire on the left side of the abdomen there. So Godsey is giving him a little bit of a breather as he goes out. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th. Pioneers looking for victory number 18 and a somewhat of a check swing, half swing by Hurt. I believe that's the 2nd time he's done that today. Starts to go and then wants to hold up. So big Jay Charla out there in left field comes on for Messer, and Chase Birdwell gets strikeout number 2. And this one belongs to the Pioneers as we are right at the 2-hour and 2-minute mark for game number 2. This one goes final. Pioneers score 7 runs in both games. Give up 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning here in game 2, but nothing further, and win Game 2, 7-2, moved to 18-13 overall. Cade Sanders will get the win. I think he will go to, is that 1-1 for Cade Sanders. And our right rug flooring player of the game will be Brody Melton, who hit the game-winning RBI, his first collegiate home run in the 7th inning. You don't win a watch or anything here, folks. You just you just get your name called out on the broadcast. As the Pioneers 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Cumberland 2 runs on 3 hits. I'm sorry, there was 1 Pioneer error. 3 hits and 1 error for Cumberland as well. And we will use a verse that was sent in by DeLynn Charla earlier today, as she was also reminding us to remember to pray for the Covenant School and the tragedy that occurred in Nashville yesterday. It comes from Psalm 34, verse 18. It says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." There are quite a few people in those 2 categories right there, brokenhearted and crushed in spirit, wondering what's going on and how they'll move on. So hopefully they will cling to God's word and to those folks that can help with comfort as well, friends and family. So please continue to pray for the Covenant School and all those affected by those. So the Pioneers take a doubleheader today over the Cumberland Junior Varsity Phoenix squad. Great pitching by 8 different pitchers today. So great job by the pitching staff. And the Pioneers will move on to a tough task to play the #1 team in all of junior college, the Walter State Senators, who will probably come into Nashville or to Gallatin. I'm going to guess it's going to be a Saturday, Sunday, as there's about 80% and 100% chance of rain Friday during the day and 100% at night. So I think maybe there's even a chance to have those games on Sunday, Monday, but I'm not the one that makes that decision. We have a weatherman, head coach Jim McGuire. He'll handle all that. So good day today for the Pioneers. Cade Sanders gets his first victory. Nathan Rhodes gets his 3rd of the year. So for Athletic Director Bobby Hudson and head coach Jim McGuire, this is Tim Reese saying so long till this weekend when the Pioneers take on the Walter State Senators. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. God bless you, and we'll talk to you this weekend. Good night, everybody.